So in Acts 2:17, God says that he'll pour his spirit out. And I think that's what's going to happen now. So in my journey to find the gift of healing so I could heal my parents, I found out how to give the gifts of the Spirit to other people. And it was really easy. If someone runs a church or a ministry or has the anointment of the office of kind of heaven, they can put their hands on someone and pray they get the gifts. And I think they can even pray if they don't have the gifts themselves. They can call it into existence. So I flew to Oregon to meet a guy who had them, and then asked if he'd pray that I would have them. And he was kind of surprised. But this is what happened. I read the Bible. I read the New Testament 5 times and the Old Testament once. And I was like, God, it's in here. I couldn't find it, but I was like, God, it's in here. And he said, why do you think that it's in here? And I said, because it has to be, because you're awesome. And if you're awesome, which we believe is hypothetically true, and we know it's true, then it has to be in here, because there's no other way it can work. Because if you're awesome and you do awesome things, therefore this awesome thing must exist. And I was kind of quoting that from the book Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is why the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is why you see the number 42 in all of your movies. Like Into the Spider-Verse, the spider's number 42. It's because 42 is in the story, it's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Well, in this, they prove that God doesn't exist because he exists, which is just fun science fiction. They say, God, you made this fish that allows us to hear all languages. This fish is too perfect, and because we must believe in you because of faith, this fish proves that you exist, so therefore you don't, QED. Anyways, I was using that to prove to God that this thing that might not actually exist does exist, and I want it. And because of that, maybe he did make it exist in the Bible. Really, that decision is up to him, but you can get God to do things by asking him to do things, and because God exists outside of time, therefore he created the thing you wanted to have before time itself existed. So he did what you asked him to do before you asked him to do it. So he did it first after you asked. This is why I like physics and the Bible. So again, let me simplify. I wanted the gift of healing. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. And then I said to God, it has to be here because you're you. And furthermore, I think it is here and you're hiding it from me. And he said, yes, I am. And he showed me a Bible verse that he was hiding from my mind. And it was that. Use the gifts the elders of the church bestowed upon you when they laid their hands on and prayed for you. So I have a little bit of each gift, which is really frustrating because I really wanted to be able to heal people in wheelchairs and people with aneurysms, and I can do stuff like back pain. I healed someone with pneumonia. My friend healed someone in a coma. Oh, so many thoughts. I'm losing my train of thought. So in the end of days, God will pour out his Spirit. Now, you keep hearing, I don't know if you're tuning into the prophets, but you keep hearing them talk about how something big is coming. And I think, if I'm watching politics correctly, we're going to have a Moses moment, right? Because all this corruption in politics is bringing all the Christians together and even all the non-Christians together, because we're all tired of corruption. And we're starting to see God really move and bring his presence down on earth. And now with the prophet, so I think Robin Bullock has all the gifts of the Spirit, but he holds what's called the office of the prophet. There's 5 offices in church government, not church like government, like the American government, but the structure of the church. There's 5 big seats in the structure of the church: the apostle, which kind of builds churches; the prophet, which kind of keeps us pointed in the right direction; the evangelist, which goes and gets people; the shepherd, or what we call pastor, who stays in touch and feeds and watches over the people of God; and then the teachers, which equip and instruct. So my plan is, once I've finished activating, or soon, to start giving these gifts to other people. And then the world will see that God is true because we're healing the sick. A lot of people go for the gift of prophecy to prove that God is real. And then they'll say, look, I prophesied that. But it's not tangible enough. I think healing is more tangible because, 1, it solves really drastic problems. And 2, like, if you see someone's burns go away or bones move or their arm grow back, you can't say there's no God anymore. Oh yeah, and so this Avenger prophecy, my gift of discernment kind of kicked in, and I kind of see God really using people's love for superheroes to show us his superheroes. Like, hi, I make superheroes. And the Christians, I mean, first of all, as a Christian, you have the ability to call down the powers of heaven, because you're basically the same as a prince in the eyes of God. All children of God are princes and princesses. So you can call down tremendous power. People just don't exercise it. You just pray and you pray and you pray and you pray. The Bible actually says, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be open, seek and you shall find. And because of your tenacity, you'll get what you want. And that's a big Bible verse. I read that and I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's a secret. And I just like tap, 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 tap. I just tap God in the eyeball, like tap, 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 tap. So I've gotten everything I've ever asked for. And people that I've taught this to have gotten everything they've asked for. So look forward to the next coming days. We should see a lot of miracles. I'm going to try and record a lot of miracles. I'm going to go see Penn and Teller in October, and I'm going to see about healing them. And so that should be a pretty big deal, but we'll see what happens. I think that's about it. Yeah. If you want to see something supernatural, pray for something supernatural. I tell people to pray for what they want to start. That's a real good easy way to prove that God is real. Pray if you want, like, someone to take you out to dinner, if you want the attention of a beautiful girl, if you want help studying, if you want to have a really good day with your friends, if you want to see something supernatural. Don't just say, I want to see something supernatural. Say what you want. Like, I want to meet an angel, or I want to have a dream that's going to come true. Or one time I wanted to see a Pegasus. I said, God, I want to see a Pegasus. Like, what would a Pegasus look like if it was real? And I think he took me to heaven and showed me, because the joy I felt was so powerful. It was almost like painful, but not in a painful way. Like, think about like when you're resting after running for a long time and you have that kind of good burn. It was kind of like that. But yeah, I love you guys.